still have scabs up in my nose.
In a time where all podcasts are the same, two guys have decided that enough is enough. This is the League of UNextraordinary Gentlemen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of season 2 of the League of UNextraordinary Gentlemen. I am Stefan. He is Eric, tipping his cap to you as always, and we are so happy to have our feet right here back in the stirrups. Eric, it was a wild, wild week. We went to a wedding, not together, separately with our wives. And it was for our friends, Jared and Katie, who run the State Theater. And congratulations once more to them, celebrating their Havre de Grace, celebrating their love. But I just wanted to tell the story quickly of our arrival. So it was about 4:10 when you called me.
Yes.
In the afternoon. It was a Friday afternoon, and they were running ferries, like a boat, up from Havre de Grace over the water to Northeast to the wedding venue.
Right.
And the last ferry was supposed to leave at 4:30, and the wedding was supposed to be at 5.
Correct.
And so Eric gives me a call, and he says, he goes, "Hey, where are you?" And I'm going up 95, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm just passing Ripken Stadium. I'll be there in about 10 minutes, about 4:20ish, and we'll be on the 4:30. And Eric goes, "Well, I think the one from 4 o'clock's still here." And I went, "Beg your pardon?" And he goes, "Yeah, there's an emergency crew down here." And I said, "Huh?" He goes, "Yeah, let me call you back in a couple minutes." I go, "Okay." And then so I turned to my wife, and I'm like, "Eric says there's an emergency crew or something." Eric, he calls me back 2 minutes later. Eric goes, "Yep, the boat sank." I said, "What?" So apparently the Coast Guard came, emergency crews, people called the police. You said, "Yeah, might want to go ahead and drive your cell phone up there." So, which is what I did. Added about 15 minutes to the trip. That's okay. They backed up the wedding about an hour. Didn't get started till 6. There was plenty of booze there, so there was fun to be
Everything
had.
I was happy.
But you were down at the docks. Apparently, it was low tide, and the guy scraped the side of the boat. There were people dressed in suits and dresses, and they don't want a sinking boat.
Yeah,
Talk to me about this.
I missed the incident, but it was a large boat. I would say about a 45-footer. Offshore fisher, it looked to be. And, it was extremely low tide. And apparently he was coming in and was given the warning, "Hey, I wouldn't go in there. It's low tide." And when he did, he hit bottom and apparently hit a rock or a shoal or something. And it blew a hefty hole in that boat because somebody was like, the boat's taking on water. And I'm like, I hear the alarm, but what? I don't understand what boat, And I'm looking at this giant boat sitting there, and I was like, oh shit, the water's about a foot and a half above the water line. I bet that boat's sitting on the bottom right there. And I looked at Emily, I was like, and I see pumps getting handed. I was like, yeah, even if they pump this bitch out, I'm not getting on that and riding a half hour across the Chesapeake Bay.
Once you told me the boat was sinking, I didn't think, well, maybe they'll patch it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna stay in the Lincoln here.
Well, I was looking like the water was just like glass. So I'm like, it ain't like they hit like heavy seas and took water over the stern or something.
Yeah, I don't.
And I just assumed it was a muddy bottom.
Well, what a positive omen for our dear friends on their wedding day that the boat sank on the way to their wedding.
Right.
It was a beautiful affair, though. And then we went back to the theater. We had the reception. That was very fun. Sunday and I started. Did you see the older guy who was there with the young Russian girl?
The one that looked like your dad?
Yes, that guy. Yes.
Oh, yeah. How could I miss that man?
Well, he was with a girl that was 30 years younger than him. That Russian girl. And at one point she comes up, it's like a fucking scene from a TV show. She comes up to us and goes, "Hey, could you take a picture of us?" And I'm like, "My wife will do it. She's great at taking pictures."
Oh, yeah,
and
we just got there.
Yeah.
We just got there when that happened.
So Sunday takes her phone and she takes the picture of her, and Sunday takes great pictures. So she looks at it, she's like, "Oh, this is great. Can you take one of just me now, please?" And pushes her 60-year-old husband out of the fucking shot. It was
and his skin tags.
Yeah, oh god, he had a few of those. But then we ended up somehow sitting next to them in the theater while we were eating our food.
He was chatting.
Oh, he was chatting it up with Sunday. But so he's telling this story. He ended up being a crabber. He's like an old old crabber.
Okay.
Apparently old crab money is where it's at, because he had like a little 30-year-old Russian bride.
They used to make bank back in the day.
And he's going, you know Perry, the lady that runs like the Pink House?
Waterman.
He's a waterman. You know Perry, the crazy-eyed lady that runs the Pink House, looks like this all the time. Yeah. So he goes, well, Perry's been buying crabs for me for years, right? And he goes, and this one time I tell her, and this is what he's telling Sunday, and she's humoring him, laughing and everything. And he goes, this one time I tell her, she goes, you got any of those big crabs left, And he goes, well, yeah, I got them, but you got to be here by 5 o'clock, Perry. Yeah. And she goes, all right, I'll be there, right? And he goes, and it gets to be 5:15. And Perry shows up. She comes up and she goes, hey, you got my crabs? And he goes, no, I do not, Perry. And she goes, what do you mean? Where are my crabs? He goes, I told you to be here 5 o'clock, Perry. What time is it?
I sold them. They're gone.
She goes, it's 5:15. He goes, I sold them. They're gone. Yeah. And he goes, and she starts going, fuck you. And I go, well, fuck you, Perry. And he goes, we're going back and forth, jawing this and that. We're at each other's throats. And he goes, I pause, I look at her, take a deep breath and go, your crabs are in the back, Perry. God damn it. I was like, that was actually a pretty funny story. Sunday was asleep,
I mean, honestly, he's not far off. That's how that shit rolls.
Yeah, it was
typically. She's lucky he held on to him.
I just didn't see that guy being the one with the gorgeous mail order Russian bride. No. That's good. He was an old sugar daddy waterman.
Oh, he was jawing Sunday's ear off. I was like, man, I couldn't do it. God bless her, because I could not have sat there that long.
Yeah, it was good. It was a fun affair.
It was. You guys disappeared. We were like, all right. Well.
Yeah, we gave the old Irish goodbye.
Yeah, you guys walked right past us.
No, I said we're not saying bye to anyone. We're just leaving.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know that you guys actually left, because I was like, well, I haven't seen them for about 10, 15 minutes. I saw them go up the ramp. And I was like, well, maybe they're outside.
Nope.
Walked out. They were gone.
Yep, we left. Total Irish goodbye. I was like, nobody's going to fucking notice. We're fine.
Yeah, no. Well, I said the same thing. And I'm usually the one that wants to say bye to everybody and make sure it's known that we said bye. So we tried to do it, right? And we're walking down the street, running into Jared's parents. And they're like, whoa, where are you guys going? I'm like, you've got to be shitting me.
Yeah. Well, I was like...
Emily goes, we don't have any kids at home tonight. And Jared's mom was like, proceed.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Sunday was tired, and she was like, I think I'm getting, getting kind of tired. I'm about ready to go. I was like, well, if we try to walk in and say goodbye to one group of people, I said, we're going to be here for 40 minutes just saying bye to people.
Easy.
So I made the executive decision. I was like, I'm going to point out McGregor's to you. We're just going to walk down there like we've never seen it.
Yeah.
And I said, no, we're just going to keep walking. So there was a group of people like smoking cigarettes out front, and I was like, hey, babe, is that McGregor's? Have you seen that? I said, excuse me, everybody. And then I was just like pointing at the awning, and we just kept walking.
Yeah, everybody was halfway to McGregor, so it wasn't like I could sneak by.
Booze was flowing. It was good.
It was. No.
She had a real heavy drink too. This lady, I went up to the bar and she was pouring like the end of the vodka bottle, but it ended up being like 3/4 vodka, and she put like a splash of cranberry in there, and she was like, sorry. And I was like, I'm going to tip you extra. I was like, here you go, babe. But she took some sips.
She's like, yeah, no,
this is
not
strong.
happening.
Yeah. So she had like 3-4 sips, got maybe about halfway through it, and she's like, I'm ready to go.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, so then I stayed in Aberdeen. I stayed at the Red Roof Inn.
You guys got a little love shack.
Got a little
there.
love shack. I got some Wendy's. We got junior bacon cheeseburgers.
All out.
Yeah, I really splurged. You know me.
Red Roof Inn,
I'm a
Wendy's. God, where do I sign up for this?
Well, you and I have literally done that. What do you mean? We do that like once a month. It might be a La Quinta. But come on, we've many times.
Hey, Stefan, we're going to save money tonight. We're not going to eat at the venue. We're going to get out of here. We're not going to stay at hotel. We're going to stay at Mom and Dad's.
That's fine.
And we're going to stop at McDonald's drive-thru on the way.
Yeah. I like how you're sitting there going, where do I sign up for this? And secretly in the back of your mind, you're like, this sounds fucking great. I watched the NBA Finals. She was falling asleep. It was one where Steph Curry hit like 7 threes. I'm like, like just spitting Wendy's everywhere, drunk. Oh, it was fantastic. But so the way I got the hotel room is because I started looking for rooms just like the night before, because we hadn't decided if we were going to go up. We didn't know if somebody could watch the dog for us, all of that. And I was like, well, it can't be hard to find a room. Rooms were like $200
at the Red Roof Inn?
No, not at the Red Roof, but like anywhere
else.
I'm like, and they were like sold out in like Aberdeen and Haverty Grace. I'm like, who the fuck is going to Aberdeen on a Friday night in fucking June? I don't know. Anyway, so then I was like, I was on Priceline, and they had like a mystery shop, and they were like it was like $70-$80, but they don't tell you the hotel,
right.
But you just book it. And I'd never done it before, and I booked it with the Red Roof.
That is spinning the wheel.
I know, I spun it. I'd never done it, but it actually worked out. I mean, I don't know if I would have stayed there any longer than a night. I mean, it was just kind of a transient, like, it was right off of 95. There were other hotels.
Red Roof Inns are known for suspect activity.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
God, dude, didn't you watch We Own the City?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, there's a scene that takes place at the Red Roof Inn right in Timonium, right off of 83. And, they like totally bust up like some major drug dealers that were kind of like hanging out in there. And...
Well, we may or may not have done drugs in the parking lot.
Well,
I may or may not have parked between an ice truck and a moving van. Like I was in high school.
Got a no smoking room?
Well, yeah. You know, they were all no smoking, I think. I don't know. But anyway, stayed at the Red Roof. The Red Roof Inn. The other thing I did, so then Saturday, oh, by the way, all of this was to say also Sunday I had to get up. She's going to do summer camp. She's going to be like a senior camp counselor, like through school. But she had orientation on Saturday, so we were out boozing, Friday night. And then from 8 to 5, she had to be outside.
So you guys got up early Saturday.
We got up early as shit. I left by 6:45, let's say.
You guys didn't stay there long.
No, and then I went to my parents for breakfast after I dropped her off.
Nice.
But yeah, she's doing summer camp. She's going to be,
camp counselor.
Camp counselor, exactly. So, did you do summer camp when you were a kid? Were you ever in the camps?
Attend camp?
Yeah.
Like what kind of summer? Like I did like
any. I'm just curious. You're Mr. Outdoorsy. You're Mr.
I did Y camp and I did Boy Scout camp.
I want to know what kind of camps you did as a kid.
Boy Scout camp, and then I got my lifeguard certification, and then
What is Boy Scout camp, and were you touched?
No, I was not touched.
Was Al a part of it?
I touched myself.
Was Al a part of it? Did Al teach?
No, I mean he like came and hung out, but he was kind of he just like came for like a night just to hang out and be Al.
Yeah,
but no, he wasn't like involved in it. I really didn't want my parents involved. I was like, nah, I'll go do this. This will be my thing.
I'm just curious how my wife from Baltimore City is going to do at the summer camp.
Is this like?
It's called Arlington Echo. It's like 5 minutes from my parents' house in Millersville. It's right on the water. It's a beautiful piece of land.
But it's just a day camp, though.
She's doing overnight. She's got to be like proctoring. She's got 3 people working for her, 3 junior counselors, and she's got like her own bunkhouse that she's responsible for. It's like Friday the 13th.
So it's co-ed though. Like
it's a co-ed camp, but I think it's an all-female like bunkhouse that she has with the kid.
Yeah, no, I attended Boy Scout camp, then I got my lifeguard certification, then I worked for a Girl Scout camp as a lifeguard.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Not one fucking bit. No. Really? You?
I don't know how I pulled it off, but I did. And I was, I think, the highest paid person at the camp. It was great.
That's
and
good.
I had the easiest schedule.
That's excellent. That's
like I got to sleep in. I would go eat breakfast. Go shower, kind of meander down to the lake.
Get your ass down there.
I'd work for about an hour and a half at the lake, sitting out on the, either on the shoreline or out on the swimming dock.
Yep.
And then I'd come in and go to lunch.
Yeah.
And then I'd go out in the afternoon for a couple of hours.
Well, Sunday goes to me. She goes, yeah, I'm going to have to teach these kids how to kayak. And I go,
all right.
And I said, well, do you know how to kayak? She goes, no, I do not.
Boy. And she's like got 3 people reporting to her.
Oh, it's good. It's summer camp. It's like I think of it as like when I was at Calvert Hall, they would have like the head football coach or the head lacrosse coach teach like history.
Yeah,
and they weren't teachers, They was just like so they're gonna make extra money. And they were the worst teachers.
But it was fun though.
I look at it as the opposite. Like she's a great teacher. Fuck it, just let it. She knows she'll be responsible.
Well, yeah,
that's really what her job.
All it really needs.
I read her job description. It was like you might have to be the fun spoiler. You're not going to be like everybody's cool friend.
That's
like,
a teacher. I mean, that's
exactly.
a teacher.
So I think she'll be well.
She'll do good. It'll be fun. She'll have fun. The kids will like her.
I have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
You have to reserve these dates. Okay.
From
July 3rd to July 8th. It's a Sunday to a Friday. It doesn't interrupt us. Don't worry. I will be in beautiful Puerto Rico.
Well, that impacts our podcast recording.
Yeah, but you're going to fucking Rehoboth next week. You don't give a shit. I mean, look, come on. You know what? You're literally going to be gone next week, and you're going to tell me that? You're going to look me in my eyes and fucking say that?
It's not Puerto Rico.
Well, I'm in the continental United States.
It's Delaware.
Here's the thing about Puerto Rico. You know what's great that I didn't realize? I don't need a passport to go there.
No.
And I don't need a COVID test to go there or come back.
Really?
Correct. If I wanted to go, I looked at Cancun. If I wanted to go to Cancun, I would have had to
both.
Correct. I wouldn't need a passport, and I wouldn't. Not that I don't. You know, I have a passport. It's just a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? And then the COVID test, you have to produce it. You have to take it within 24 hours of your flight. So, like my second to last day, I'd be worried about getting the test, doing my results. I just don't want to fucking deal with
it. In Mexico,
right? So I always kind of forget about Puerto Rico. But my cousin Greg, the big ass kicking biker Greg, he's got property down there. His dad bought some like a condo before he died, and then left it to him. So he goes down there, and I started asking him about it. And then my niece just went there. I was like, I always fucking forget about Puerto Rico.
So wait, are you going down with him, or just is he letting you use the place?
He's neither. He just got me thinking about the island. He books it. I mean, I'm going. So wait, in a few weeks.
Are you going for work or for fun?
For fun.
For pleasure.
I'm going for pleasure. I'm taking my wife on a
nice.
There's a tropical rainforest there. It's the only one in the U.S. It's called the LUG. We're going to backpack through there.
I think it's a U.S. territory.
And then there's a bioluminescent bay there.
Like those are fun.
Yeah, like those in Avatar. Like in Avatar. So, and supposedly some of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah. They said there's a car shortage in Puerto Rico. Get this.
There's a car shortage here.
Get this. You know how much it is to rent a car in Puerto Rico for from Sunday to Friday? And this is like
probably like $1,200.
Well, Jesus, Eric, that would be outrageous. Now, why do you always go with these right numbers when I'm about to shock people? It'd be $400, and that's for like a Nissan Versa.
It's actually not bad.
That's a lot. That's like almost $100 a day, Eric. It's
That's
normally
actually very normal. Thank you.
What cars do you rent? It's normally like $30 a day to rent like a fucking Nissan Altima or a Nissan Versa.
Okay.
Where do you guys rent cars?
When was the last time you rented a car? Like 1982?
I rented a car when I was in Florida or in Texas for my honeymoon like 6 months ago. It cost me $120 for the week.
Okay.
Well, hey guys, this is
then you
expensive.
got a deal because that's not very normal.
You guys are. Where are you guys renting? What kind of cars are you renting for? $100 a day is a lot. That you could rent a fucking Maserati
I'm going up to Maine in August, and that's basically what we're looking at.
We're not talking about any gas, just the rental fee per day.
I can't even use
I rented a Maserati
Turo.
for $120
I can't even use
a day.
Turo, which is what you used for
the
that.
Maserati. That was $120
for a week in August, and it's like $130 a day.
That's
through Turo.
That's Turo.
For
Turo's
a regular
expensive.
car. No, it's not. It's
Supposed
cheaper
to be.
It's cheaper than all the fucking mainstream guys.
I bet you I could get a car in Orlando for $30 a day through Enterprise.
I rented a full size pickup in Orlando through Turo for like $100 a day.
That's a full size pickup. I understand.
Right.
I'm telling you that you could rent. You can't rent the shittiest fucking car that is just tiny, like a shoe, for any less than $100 a day. And you're telling me that's reasonable?
Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy.
You live in a fantasy world. You live in a fantasy
You're on an
world.
island too.
I don't look.
If you go to Hawaii, you're going to deal with the same problem.
I don't have this high paying healthcare job. I don't sling drinks at the hottest bar in town. Okay, I don't know what fantasy world you guys live in.
You hawk high end data.
I don't know what fantasy world you guys live in.
Big data.
Well, I didn't mean to not shock anyone. Anyway, I was on the fence about renting the car, but I guess because I was going to explain to you that there was some other things. If you wanted to take a cab ride from the airport to my hotel, or my timeshare, it's $120 one way, and so it'd be $240 just to get there.
So
and
renting
back.
a car's cheap.
It's going to be twice as much almost. But I'd have the convenience of being able to drive to restaurants.
It's Puerto Rico. Can't you rent a fucking golf cart?
Yeah, $80 a day.
For a golf cart.
Yes.
$80.
I'll show you the website.
Okay. I'd probably go with that then.
From there to the airport, from the airport. It's 40 miles.
It's that far into that island. Was that goddamn big?
Yeah, and then there's 2 little islands. Anyway, I'll give you a full report. We'll talk about it with Mickey next week. You ever been to Puerto Rico? Was going to be my next question, but it sounds like no.
No, I've not. I have not.
You can't give me any advice.
Nope.
Have you talked to Rob Mayer lately, our dear friend Rob Mayer?
It's been a few weeks. Prior to what you just put up here.
So we have a friend, a comic buddy. He's a professional touring comic. His name's Rob Mayer. He does the Rob and Joe podcast. He sits in on 98
Die
Rock.
Laughing Productions. Shout out.
Sits in on 98 Rock a lot. Does sometimes the Ravens after shows, things of that nature. So Rob went on tour with a guy named David Koechner.
He's on tour currently with him still.
Yes.
Yeah.
He went on tour with David, still currently
for the
on
second
tour.
time.
And David is the guy. He's
Champ
from Anchorman. Whammy. He's been in tons of movies. Yeah, he was Lambeau Fields in that one Sports Losers or whatever. But I think we'll have to talk to Rob. David Koechner but says there's body cam of his field sobriety tests not so good before his arrest
in Ohio.
Yeah, so it looks like he was his latest DUI bust, one that couldn't stand up all that straight. The Anchorman stars running with cops in Ohio earlier this month can be seen, and you can see him bombing, according to police. Fails his field sobriety test after he's pulled over on the road. This is crazy because we're literally friends with a guy and talk to him fairly regularly who's on tour with this guy and heard nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to have Rob booked, I think, maybe a week ago prior to that venue.
I want to know
shitting
if Rob,
the bed on us.
Do you think Rob was with him?
No, he was not in the car.
Oh, man.
I watched the video because I was like, if I see Rob in that car, I'm going to shit myself.
It looks like this is his second one in 6 months. To which I'm saying, how long's he been on tour with Rob?
Yeah.
About 6 months. I think Rob's a horrible influence on Chan.
Well, I mean, we've spent some time with Rob. We have a good time. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, man. Well, that sucks.
It does. I watched it. I was like, man, I wouldn't be a good cop. I'd feel so bad for him. I'd be like, man, why don't you?
One of the cops recognized him and shit.
Yeah, he's like, I thought I recognized you.
But
that's the thing is he never played the do you know who I am card at all. He was just like, what's your name, sir? And he said it real quietly, and he was like,
I'm the guy.
I thought that was you.
I was in the office.
He was like, yeah. And then he just kind of went on his way. Like he was very
his name on the office?
I don't remember.
Oh man, well it'll come.
He actually didn't do bad on the roast variety. It was when he had to hold up his toe and count 1,000, 2,000, which that shit's hard anyways. And it
ain't easy.
He struggled with that one. It was So.
What are you watching these days, Eric? Speaking of all these programs David Koechner's been in.
Speaking of the police, like I said, we watched the first season of We Own This City.
The first season? I don't think there's going to be a sequel.
Well, they're going to continue to do seasons of it, but they're going to have different storylines.
All in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
But there's so much, I thought it all wrapped up so cleanly. There's no more corruption in Baltimore. What do you mean?
Oh, my God.
What do you mean?
Look, John Barenthal and Josh Charles did phenomenal.
The Punisher.
With that.
Yeah, I've heard his Baltimore accent's fantastic.
It's really good. Whoever, that guy that he played was a fucking dick. I mean, he was a good cop until he started being really corrupt and stealing money from people.
After watching We Own the City, does it make you want to go more or less to an Orioles game with your children?
I don't think it makes a difference.
Doesn't change it at all.
No.
You didn't learn anything about
I already know the
underbelly.
I already know Baltimore's dangerous and seedy and corrupt as fuck. So,
do you trust the police less?
I don't know. I mean, every Baltimore police officer, every Baltimore police officer I've had a run-in with has been perfectly cool.
Okay,
they're out there. The bad ones are out there.
All right,
but I just don't go to the city.
That's right. All right, there it is.
I just don't go to the city.
We're watching The Boys. Are you caught up?
I'm not. I did the first episode, and
you did.
Holy dickhole is all I gotta say.
You know who I thought of when I was watching that? My friend who's restoring his foreskin.
Dude.
Sunday asked over the weekend while we were at the wedding. She was like, it's probably hot on Eric's foreskin. How's that going, by the way? I said, I don't know. I'll have to ask him. Were you wearing your device? Are you still
Wait,
pulling?
hold on. What did she ask?
How your foreskin restoration's going, if you're still doing it or not.
Yeah, I'm still doing it.
Okay.
Still happening.
Where are you on the scale, on the RCI scale? Are you at an 8?
Yeah, I'm definitely at an 8.
Okay, we're not going to talk about it too much. We dedicated an entire 6-year podcast to that, to your foreskin.
You know my goal. It's full coverage at full
with
erection.
overhang.
Right.
Number 10 on the RCI scale.
That's where we're going.
Beautiful. So the boys, that first episode, that Ant-Man parody was incredible.
Oh, my God.
Because remember when Avengers...
By the way, this is a spoiler alert.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's been weeks. We're good. If you haven't watched it by now, too bad. Do you remember when Endgame was coming out and everybody was like, how are they going to kill Thanos? And everybody was like, well, Ant-Man's going to fly up his ass, right? And then get real big. And they totally parodied that. But they did it up the guy's urethra, right? Instead of his ass. And then he fucking sneezed and exploded. It's disgusting and hilarious. And then he goes after French and he's like, get him, he's trying to get up my ass. So they gave a couple actual nods to it, which I think's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was really
good. The guy
good.
that plays Homelander is incredible, by the way.
He is.
He's such a, you hate him. You absolutely just hate him.
He's so good.
He's such a smug bastard.
Have you seen Banshee?
No, you've told me it's good.
You've got to watch him in Banshee. It's so good.
You told me it's good. You get to see his ass a few times, too, right?
In Banshee? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of nudity.
Yeah.
A lot of sex, a lot of nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, and you've started Obi-Wan.
I got halfway through the first episode. It started off strong, but then I got distracted.
You're going to want to get to episode 3.
Right. Okay.
Everything changes in episode. Well, just get to episode 3. It's been my favorite so far. And there's been 4 out. 4 is pretty good. 3 is
that's the one.
3 is the one where you're going to go, this is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying, it's not good. I'm just saying once I get distracted with something.
There's some ruthlessness afoot in episode 3.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's good.
To your point, you said where it picks up between, episode 3 and 4. And they did like a nice little recap at the beginning to kind of place where it is. Like, they didn't just dive into it, which was nice.
I like that they did an entire recap of the trilogy before we watched the first episode.
Right. Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
And they did it in like fucking 2 minutes.
You got to be careful when you're saying episode 3 and 4 because we're talking about Obi-Wan episode 1, but you're talking about Star Wars episode 3 Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars episode 4, the newest of hopes.
Good call.
Luke Skywalker, Leia Skywalker, Han Solo, man.
It takes place right when they start doing the mass cleaning of all the Jedi.
That's totally incorrect. That was done years before in the 3rd movie. That was Order 66. That was what that movie was about.
I watched the recap.
The Jedi are all...
They started Obi-Wan with a scene of where they were cleaning out.
You said episode 4. You said episode 4 after they had cleaned out the Jedi. Listen, we're not going to get into the semantics of a Star Wars fucking debate. Yes, you're correct.
We're all saying the same thing.
After the Jedi are extinct, the Inquisitors are hunting them down. Obi-Wan he's just an old man. He's not in touch with the Force. You know, there aren't the droids you're looking for. He ain't fucking tricking anybody, Sean. Nobody. He's an old man. Do you like Ewan McGregor? Think he's a good actor? Eric? Sean? Anybody?
I do.
All right.
Were you asking?
I've never watched a Star Wars film.
Jesus Christ, Sean. Never watched a Star Wars, and you call yourself an American. All right.
Or a man.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about Stranger Things. I'm watching Stranger Things.
Right.
You have or haven't?
First season, second season, got bored with it.
Oh.
And I was told I could just skip that and go to 3rd, so I might have to just jump into 3rd.
No, season 2 was great. I disagree. We're on season 3. I think we started it like almost a week ago, and we're just chewing it up. I think it's
first.
that good.
I thought first season was really good.
Season 2 was awesome. We just finished it. We just finished it up. I don't think season 2 was bad.
Okay.
It's different than season 1 because you know a little more, but it's still,
I think that's what I liked about season 1 is there was so much like, what the fuck?
You're like, what's happening? And then you know there's the upside down. So you're like, I'm already upside down.
Yeah,
Don't feel like I'm upside down anymore.
Yeah, and they needed to like dive into the next thing. Anyways. I'm not opposed to kicking it back off, but we dove into Peaky Blinders season 6.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
I like the Sam Neill from the first season because he goes, yeah, the Peaky Blinders. I love the way
It's so fucking good, man.
And yeah, the Peaky Blinders. You stole my guns. You Peaky Blinders. Everyone's so Irish.
And it's like, aren't they in fucking Britain?
I don't know. With the Peaky Blinders.
I mean, I do notice their accents kind of waver a little bit.
Yeah,
from
well,
time to
they're
time.
acting.
But they're going hard. I mean, they're going hard.
That's 6 seasons that's gone through. I didn't realize it's been that
This
deep.
is the final season, and we are, I think, on episode 5 already. Like, we're just... Yeah.
Did you watch Winning Time: The Rise of the
I
Lakers
haven't
Dynasty?
yet because I'm into. No, I haven't.
Did you watch any of the What Ifs on Marvel?
I have not. No.
They're only a half hour.
I know, but I've got quite a plate full here. With
You got a lot.
I do. I got a lot. I got a lot. You
I
know?
see you revisited We Are the Millers.
Yes, had to.
It's a good.
I just
one.
needed a light. After watching some of this shit, you just need something lighthearted.
Did you jerk off to the Jennifer Aniston scene?
No, but I
at the end?
considered it.
You
Considered it.
but I strongly considered it. I rubbed my dick through my pants.
But the kid that plays as fuck, I don't remember what the character's name. The son.
yeah, whatever.
Jimmy, whatever his name.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I
He
don't know.
fucking just plays that role so fucking well. And then he also did a role in that movie that they did about oxycontin,
Sure.
with Mr. Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm. Batman.
Yeah. And he played as like a salesman for.
He's the Vulture for all you young cats.
Yeah.
He's the Vulture in Spider-Man.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Jesus, Eric.
I thought you were talking about the actor that I'm talking
Eric,
about.
you're yelling.
The
Remember when we
redhead
talked
guy.
about levels
I
before
didn't
the
redline
show?
it, though. I didn't redline
Remember
it.
you just did it? Yeah. That's one of your fucking moves.
Okay. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
Come on, relax. I'm going to let you talk.
Hold on, let me find
You're
this
talking. You have the floor.
Will Poulter.
Will Poulter.
Played
Yep.
as Kenny.
Yeah, I always get him confused with the guy from Breaking Bad who was in the dog movie, who got fat. He was in Power of the Dog.
Yeah, he was in Power of the Dog.
He was all fat. Jesse Pleitman, I think his name.
His brother there in called him Fatso. His
Yeah.
nickname was Fatso.
Well, that's our sympathetic hero.
And man, Emma Roberts got really hot.
Did she?
Really hot recently.
Yeah, I mean, she's been around a while.
But yeah, just that, and then revisited Due Date with Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr.
He was the it guy for a while. I was just thinking about Zach Galifianakis the other day. We haven't seen him in a film or really anything after the Hangovers were like his peak, and then he did some movies after that. He was kind of the it guy, and I just haven't seen him in ages.
Due Date, like that came out. It was, I mean, it's an okay movie.
I'll tell you what we revisited, because I often say to Sunday, I'll always be like, are you real? Like, I'm so scared. I'm terrified that I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, and that she's just like a figment of my imagination. And also she's just gorgeous, and I try to be like, oh my God, are you real? But I always reference it because of A Beautiful Mind, because that's like the movie.
Oh, yeah.
She'd never seen it. And I'm like, you're a math teacher and you've never seen A Beautiful Mind? So we watched it, and she hadn't seen it before. But man, I forgot what a great movie. Russell Crowe won an Oscar for that.
That movie had me wondering about how many things in my life were real. Like
It's got me questioning things all over again. Yeah.
Boy, we got him fooled, Sean.
Do we really do
Because it wasn't
stand-up?
like he had one character.
Yeah.
He had multiple people in his life.
He made up the little girl. That's how you knew it at the end. He's like, she never gets old. The little girl, she never gets old. And he finally believes him. He created a backstory where his college roommate, her wife died and left behind or his sister died and left behind his niece, and he was raised.
Yeah.
His mind constructed that. Oh, God. Well, anyway, that was a good. Check that out if you haven't. And for you younger cats, if you've never seen A Beautiful Mind, it won Best Picture. I believe it was 2001. It's a movie that really put Russell Crowe on the map as a dramatic actor. You know, beyond being the action star in Gladiator, which also won some Oscars. Russell Crowe used to be a really good actor.
He was. He was
in American Gangster. I loved his voice in that because he'd be like, "Hey, Frank Lucas. You're Frank Lucas, right? You're Frank." And he was all high-pitched. All right, never mind. Let's move on. You never saw American Gangster? That was a true story about the heroin kingpin in the 70s, Frank Lucas. Denzel Washington plays Frank Lucas.
Yeah, no, I got to see it.
Let's do sports.
Okay.
Jump shots, goals, running, balls, defense, champions.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marv Albert, and welcome to another edition of Stapless Sports.
Thank you, Marv, and welcome back. Eric, still no games this week. They're suspended while the NBA Finals are going on. All league play is basically the sports world is hyper-focused on Boston versus Golden State. Are you keeping up? Are you watching?
No.
It's a hell of a series.
No.
Why did you say it so emphatically?
No, there's not enough white guys out there.
That's what you
like
sounded
NBA.
like, Eric.
I don't like NBA.
Well, there's too many dunks, not enough mid-range jumpers.
Is that what you're fucking saying? All they do is shoot three-pointers now.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Well, Golden State's up 3-2. If they win, they'll have won their fourth championship, which is a big deal. It's all Steph Curry, so he's moving up the list as being one of the all-time great players. I watched him the other night. He scored like 43 points. He hit like 7 threes. Guys are hanging all over his back. I mean, it is really fun to watch. He's changed the game of basketball. But there's another guy on the Golden State Warriors. His name's Klay Thompson. Do you know who he is? Have you heard of Klay?
No.
Sean? Yes. All right. Most people know who Klay Thompson is. He's a really famous basketball player.
Okay.
He was out like the last 2 years. He rehabs his ACL. He comes back. He's in the playoffs. He's playing great. Well,
guess what? He blows out his knee again.
No, there's a guy that is in the stands who's an impersonator of Klay Thompson. Sean has the picture. He's going to put it up behind us. This guy looks an awful lot like Klay, and he's one of the fans. He's in the stands. He's in a lot of their games. Well, he has been banned for life.
What?
From the Golden State Warriors arena. Get this, Eric. This is fucking awesome. So this guy, the Klay Thompson impersonator, has been banned for life. He allegedly fooled arena personnel into believing he was actually the Golden State star, allowing him access to not just the building, but also the basketball court. And Dawson Gurley is his name. He says, quote, "I was banned because I walked past 5 layers of security guards who willingly let me through security without asking for ID. And I shot around on the court for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. I wonder when finally there was like a red flag. Like, wait a minute.
Oh, God,
That's
dude.
awesome. No, this guy, he looks the part.
They said he's not kidding about the ban either. They said you deliberately deceived Chase Center building personnel by impersonating an employee. The letter read in part.
Really?
Oh, man. How awesome is that? Is there anybody that we could dress you up as that you think we could get you by personnel? What if to think of an athlete?
One of the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, you could do him.
Kevin.
You could definitely pass for him.
I don't have enough hair. I used to.
Yeah, but what does he look like now?
I don't know. He might be
Oh,
bald
that
now.
would be good. I would be able to maybe pass as Andy Serkis, the guy that plays Gollum.
Totally.
I'm just like, hello, good day.
God, I just saw him in something recently, and I was like, holy shit, that is fucking Stefan.
Yeah, a lot of people say I look like that gentleman.
You'd have to put on some more weight because he has put on some weight.
Yeah, he's gotten thicker for some of his more recent
He's not
roles.
fat, but you can just tell he's a little.
Look, he's working out. He's lifted a little bit.
No, I think he's.
Yeah. You don't say that about Gollum, all right? You don't say that about Schmeagol.
Oh man!
Have you heard? Here's another thing that's kind of crazy. Have you heard about this girl, Brittany Griner? She's a WNBA star.
Yeah, I see the picture. She looks familiar.
We keep seeming to forget she has been detained in Russia for months.
She's still there?
She's going to remain in custody in Russia for at least another 2.5 weeks. Her detention was just extended until July 2nd. I just find it, she got caught with like hash oil. And when she was going through airport security, they pulled her out of the line. She's literally been detained in Russia since February. It is June.
For fucking hash oil.
She had hash oil. This is an American citizen in Russia, and she's a lesbian, which I think is why people are so worried about her in Russia, because they have like a zero tolerance policy.
Are they worried? She's been there since February.
Yeah, I just think we should talk about it. You weren't even aware of this as an American.
That is wild.
Isn't that crazy? And she's a pretty high pro. She plays in the fucking WNBA.
Yeah.
She's a pro athlete.
Right.
People know who she is. Yeah, she's like 6'8"
yeah,
too.
She's huge.
Highly recognizable. It's sad.
That is. That's messed up.
I don't know what's going on.
Yay, Russia.
No, Eric.
I'm being sarcastic.
Cut that out.
I'm being sarcastic. I was, yay, Russia. Sarcasm.
And the last piece of sports news, I'm keeping it NBA and basketball related in honor of the finals that you don't follow. God, it's a good series, too.
Okay.
Gosh. What don't you like about it? I mean, the playoffs are when it all amps up. Every play matters. Guys are playing hard. They tell you they take plays off during the regular season, Eric. They're going to admit that, but in the playoffs, it's great.
I just can't get into it.
All right. Well, there's a guy named Montrezl. Montrezel. I'm going to go with Montrezl. Montrezl Harrell. Okay. He plays for the Charlotte Hornets. He's a power forward. And he played recently for the Washington Wizards, so he was a local guy. He has been stopped at a routine traffic stop. No, he's been charged with drug trafficking after cops say they found 3 pounds of weed in his car during a traffic stop in May. He's now facing time behind bars. A 28-year-old was pulled over by a Kentucky state trooper. He's in Kentucky with all this weed. Around 10 a.m. on May 12th, driving a 2020 Honda Pilot rental too close to the car in front of him, and during the stop, cops say they smelled marijuana. Lo and behold, he had over 3 pounds, to which I always come back and say, you are a pro athlete. You literally make millions of dollars a year.
Even if not, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No, this guy, I know what he makes. This guy makes millions of dollars a year.
He literally was making millions.
Think of it this way, Eric. In the NBA, there's only 12 guys on a team. On the NFL, there's 52 guys on a team. So the salaries in the NBA are exponentially higher because there's less guys.
Right.
Every guy's making millions. You know what I mean? There's only 12 of them on a team. There's 30 teams. There you go. He made $9 million a year. There you go. He's not even a great player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's making $9 million. So there you go. A guy that makes $9 million a year gets pulled over with 3 pounds of weed in his trunk. And again, it's not for him. There's no way. There's just no way.
But also, he was in Kentucky, so he was clearly transporting it in a rental.
Right. Like, can't you invest your money in a better business? I don't know.
If you make $9 million, how much is 3 pounds of marijuana really worth?
And that, my friends, will end sports. And welcome back, Eric. We've got some listener and or producer questions. I see in the section here. I don't think that's actually what's in this section at all.
Not, no,
I think you've taken a lot of liberty with the listener producer questions and just added stuff that should have been earlier in the episode.
I had a question I wanted to pose to you.
Oh, well, then that's okay.
Well, a few questions that I wanted to pose to you.
Let's start with one.
But it has to do with your favorite sub shop chain, Jersey Mike's, which we've established it was not started by Mike.
No.
It was started by Phil or something.
His name's like Richard Kroenke. Yeah. His name's not Mike at all. He's a fucking liar.
So I ran in there yesterday. Now, my question to you is, when you order food on an app to pick up your food, not delivery, just to pick it up, how long are you willing to wait for said food when that app gives you a time of when it's going to be ready and you arrive after that time?
You're not going to like my answer. I'm usually there way after it. It usually alerts me that it's ready way before, because when I choose pickup, I don't know. I allow for that almost. I don't know. I don't get pissed off. Is that what you're asking? Like if I get there and the food's not ready?
Yeah, I mean, they always say order
like with
on
DoorDash.
The app.
You say like you do DoorDash, but you select pickup.
Well,
rather
I used Jersey Mike's their app.
Oh, their app. They have an app.
They have an app.
Okay.
Ordered it at 12:33, and it said it'll be ready at 12.
This ball's got a bitch. This is what's wrong now, Eric. Okay, I know what this segment is. This is what's wrong now, Eric. All right, I'm following you.
All right, it said it was going to be ready at 12:47.
Uh-huh.
So I arrived at 12:53 to give some padding time, right? And I
Sounds reasonable.
Walk in, and there's like a bunch of people standing there waiting for their app orders, and then there's a ridiculous line. And I'm standing there, and I'm staying cool, patient. And I'd understand if there's like 1 or 2 people working. They had at least 4 to 5 people working.
You know what your first mistake was?
What?
Going to fucking Jersey Mike's.
I mean, there's been times I've walked in there, and it's like, every time I go in, it's ready for me.
Go to
waiting.
you know where you don't run into that. You know where it's always freaky fast, Eric. If you're looking for a place that's going to have your sub cranked out on fucking time, Jimmy John's.
Yeah, now
okay? It's literally.
If I just wanted bread, then I would go to Jimmy John's.
What? They're what? Their subs are delicious.
All bread.
They blow They blow
bread.
Jersey Mike's out of the water.
No
They're all
way.
bread.
It's all fucking bread.
What sub are you ordering? Get the turkey tom.
I used to get it. It's all bread.
Get double meat.
It's all bread.
It's not all bread.
It's all bread.
You're absolutely wrong.
Anywho.
You have no leg to stand on if you tell me Jersey Mike's are better than...
So I stand there, and I'm like, as I'm standing there, my patients are
drenched
starting
in
to
oil
wear.
and vinegar. It's gross.
Well,
they cover everything in oil and vinegar.
You
It's
can
a
tell them
soggy-
not to put that on there.
Well, it's not good without it, though. And so their meats and cheeses aren't good
then
enough.
You can't bitch them.
Yes, I can. I don't need a Jersey Mike's.
Point I want to make is I'm standing there, and as I'm standing there, I'm like, I might as well have just gotten in fucking line because the people that came in behind me are now almost making their order. And I look down and I'm like, holy shit, it's been a half hour since I ordered it.
You know what that tells you? The guy that owns Jersey Mike's, 1, is a liar. 2, not a technologist.
Well,
not a
it
technologist.
used to be fast. Their staff is terrible. However, the girl did correct things because I didn't go in with, like, the one dude was, like, huffing and puffing and blah. And I walked up to her and I said, can I just cancel my order? Because I ordered it.
The ultimate power play.
I ordered it literally a half hour ago.
Well, and then what'd you do?
And she's like, well, what's your name again? I was like, Eric. And she's like going down, and the girl is like making it a half hour later. She's like, it's right here. It's almost done. And I'm like,
you're like, fuck you, Dolores.
Is it going to be done
then
in
you
like
looked at her, and
2
you
minutes?
looked at her name tag and you said, fuck you, Dolores.
So I said, you know what? If it can be done in the next 2 minutes, then yeah, we're good to go. So she wrapped it all up.
What if it was 2 minutes and 48 seconds?
So hold on. She made it. She fixed. This is the thing I want to make. And when somebody fucks up, just a small olive branch is all I ask. And I didn't even have to ask for it. And again, I was pleasant. And she calls me and she's like, hey, you ready? She's like, sorry about that. I was like, it's all good. Whatever. Cool. And I opened my bag up and I'd ordered one of their brownies. She threw an extra brownie.
Oh, you got an extra brownie. And now it's okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm happy now.
And that's all you needed.
That's all I needed. Was
That's
just
all
a
my special
little
boy
olive
needed.
branch.
Just something to say, sir, we're sorry.
Yeah. Usually I'm just like, you can stuff your sorries in a sack. But
Yeah.
if you're going to hook me with a brownie or a cookie or something,
That's right.
all the way.
All the way. Well, Eric, I feel like this is a fine transition. A fine transition indeed. Sounds like the earth is getting quite full, and you want to kick off several employees from the Jersey Mike's.
Oh no, this is a whole different group of people.
Still a different group of people. This is the segment where we jettison someone from the planet because they don't belong here anymore. And looks like you've got a topic. Would you like to go first?
Sure, unless you want to.
Oh, good. Okay. You've got it pulled up.
So, 5 people have recently been arrested in charges stemming from the violent theft of 2 bulldogs belonging to one pop star, Lady Gaga, and the shooting of a dog walker. So, of these 5 people, I think all 5 need to just leave the planet because, A, you shot somebody, and then you stole dogs, and I think one of the dogs even got shot too. Bulldogs.
We don't
Really?
tolerate that.
Really? You're going to shoot people and steal dogs.
Get out of here.
You don't belong here.
You don't belong here. You don't belong on this planet.
Nope. The dog walker did survive, though. He did survive.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Should we regulate firearms in this country, Eric?
Nah. I bet these people were criminals, actually, that were let back out on the streets for,
Speaking of terrible political policies, Nancy Pelosi's husband, this is mine, Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, who in this photo here certainly looks unimpressed after getting nailed for a DUI. You can see here in his newly released mugshot. So he got in a crash the night of May 28th near Napa, California, when he was driving his 2001 Porsche and struck a Jeep. I just have no use for either Paul or Nancy at this point.
Yeah, no, they're
as
worthless.
I do for most of the politicians in this country.
I think
so,
I kicked Nancy off a
you
few
did.
months ago.
Actually, you did.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm going to reunite them.
Nice.
Paul, go hang out with your wife.
Yeah.
Earth is full. There's no Pelosi's left.
Yeah. By the way, they were already, charged with illegal possession, so they already broke the laws. Just so you know.
As always, this episode has been completely unextraordinary. Thank you, Dark Continent. Good night.
This is the League of Unextraordinary Gentlemen.
And then my absolute favorite is when they're just talking, they're just trying to a character assassinate him, and they're like, Mr. Depp, were you with Paul Bettany? And Paul Bettany plays like Vision in the Marvel movies and stuff. They're like, were you and Paul Bettany up until 6 a.m. doing cocaine, talking about lighting Amber Heard on fire? And Johnny's like, well,